Years ago in the great state of Texas, the Dallas Cowboys were in the middle of their Sunday dominance that saw 3 Super Bowls in just 4 years. On Saturdays, the Texas Longhorns were wrapping up a successful run in the Southwest Conference, winning 25 conference titles before ushering in the new era of the new Big 12. But anyone who has ever lived in Texas in the DFW Metroplex knows that football starts under the bright lights of Friday night. The Texas high school football playoffs are well underway, and John Tyler High School is in the 5A semifinals. And whatever John Tyler does this weekend won't come close to what we witnessed 20 years ago in what could have been the greatest game in football history between John Tyler and Plano East at Old Texas Stadium. 3 minutes, 3 words. Good gosh almighty. Sum up a game that lives on forever. Tom Friend takes us back in this SC feature.
Texas football, I would say, really is everything to the people here in Texas. 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. They all want to grow up to, play for the local high school.
Welcoming you to Texas Stadium, where tonight an outstanding matchup. 12-0 John Tyler against 12-0 Plano East.
Winning a high school state championship in the state of Texas means bragging rights for the rest of your life. People will remember you. They'll remember your name.
And Denny, big game in the state, I would think, right here tonight.
They got to understand we're broadcasting for our friends and neighbors. We coached these Plano East kids since they were 5 years old.
The first half, we kind of called it a taffy pull. It's back and forth, back and forth.
5 minutes to go in the game. I mean, it was 27-17. We were inside the 10 going in.
Broyle strips the football. Nobody will catch him. Holy cow.
After the kickoffs, get hit, fumble, they go back and score again.
Oh, my, can this be? Oh, my. 3:03 left to go in the ballgame. And the roof has caved in on Plano East.
We were taking our pads off because we thought it was over. We were talking to the fans and the cheerleaders and totally uninterested into the game.
It's over with. We were looking maybe to bring some of the third team in or the guys that was moved up from JV to come get a little game.
That fired me up, and I guarantee you it fired a lot of my teammates up. You still got a ball game to finish.
2:42 left to go. Looks, throws, touchdown. Never die attitude.
We're like, oh, well, who cares? I honestly don't even remember them scoring that touchdown just because I was in the stands.
There were second and third stringers in there, but we'll just get the ball and kick off and we'll run out the clock.
The week before, our kicker got kicked off the team, so I kind of knew I was probably going to be doing kickoff duties anyway. Something that I was good at, from playing soccer in my younger days.
Onside kick. Gonna be all right. This ball game ain't over, baby.
I'm talking junk to the other team. Like it's not over. Put your pads back on.
Terrence Green. Great kick.
They started putting starters back in, and before they could get them all back in, we scored again.
4th and 5, folks, from the 5. 1:31 possibly left in somebody's career here. Whitley. Touchdown. The John Braddock touchdown. My goodness, we're at 41-31.
Like, how is this happening? This can't be happening.
They get this catgum onside kick. We in this thing.
We're no longer broadcasters, we're homers.
They can slip some Vaseline on that football. Now's the time to do it.
Got kicked to me, and I'm thinking just to attack it.
Come on, baby. Side kick. Easy, slow down.
It's up. Yes, sir, they got it.
They touched it.
It got in my head a little bit, because I'm thinking if these guys score, I'm a reason why these guys scored again.
Over there on the deadgum sideline, half of them got their shoulder pads and stuff off.
They better strap them back on.
I'm telling you now, if they score,
I'm going to jump out of this booth.
The coaches that was in the press box, they trying to get down there on the field so they can celebrate. And now we have no eyes upstairs.
Yes, sir!
Not over yet, boys.
I can barely kind of put the ball on the tee. My hand's shaking.
Well, here we go, folks. Can the improbable happen 3 times?
I'm sure he was aiming it at me after that first one I fumbled.
It's up and they got it again! They got it again! Good gosh almighty, I don't believe it! This is unbelievable! Get on there!
I told you.
Unbelievable! Good gosh almighty, Joe Fry!
One of the coaches said, "Are you going to throw the throwback? You're going to throw the throwback?" And I said, "Yes, but I don't want to score too soon." They said, "Coach, there's only 36 seconds left."
They've got to have a touchdown. Whitley going to throw. Throws back. He's on the edge.
Everybody on their cars and the radio back to Plano. Y'all done missed the greatest comeback of all times. Of all time.
It has to be. 41, 43. Plano East. 24 seconds left.
I done wet my britches.
We ever seen a black man turn white, and that's what happened. You couldn't go back to Tyler. You know, they burned houses down there.
Hey, why are they all up so close? Terrence Green's going to kick the ball back over their heads. Sure he is.
I was hoping that he kicked it deep enough that I can get a chance to redeem myself.
I said, kick the pooch kick. And that's just the short high kick, you know. Then when John Tyler had 9 guys within 15 yards of the ball, I'm like, this is absolutely the best thing that we could have possibly done was kick deep.
Here's the kickoff. 24 seconds left. Terrence Green boots it high and deep. Going to be
all right, just seconds run.
Got it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh, no. Come on, no. Oh, gosh. I don't believe it. God bless those kids. I'm sick. I want to throw up.
Words can't explain how bad I wanted to make amends to those 2 mistakes I made. Only touchdown in my high school career.
I broke down, man. And when I think about it, you know, it was, you know, it gets to me a little bit. You know, I just remember going to the sideline and having my dad, you know, talk to me a little bit, but it's painful.
It's just one of the greatest moments of my life, you know. Just think about that a lot sometimes. The moral of this story to me is to never give up.
We were in Mexico and a guy was sitting next to me and said, "Oh, you used to coach football in Texas. Did you ever see that Plano East John Tyler, that 3 onside kick game?" And I went, "Yeah, I did. I'm the guy that called the deep kick."
For the longest time, I couldn't watch the video. It took me probably about 4 or 5 years until I actually watched the game again. I can remember sitting on the couch and just crying for no reason, but for no reason.
I've seen so many clips of it since then, I can almost verbatim play by play. When you get to the end of that film and you're 44-41 ahead, you cut the film off and we win. And we win for life.
Oh, what a game it was. John Tyler would go on to win the state championship and beat Austin Westlake, who, by the way, had a backup quarterback. His name was Drew Brees. Tom Friend with us now. Tom, remarkable story. You've been on the ground in Texas the past couple of weeks. I lived in DFW for 5 years, covered hundreds of high school games in the Metroplex. This one always comes up. How does this game live on 20 years later?
Well, it's the mother of all comebacks. You can talk about the Stanford Cal game. You can talk about the Music City Miracle. You can talk about the Oilers-Bills playoff game. That was remarkable, too. But this game lives on sort of in a morality play of never giving up. There's a teacher in Frisco, Texas. Since that game, every year, but when the school year starts, she shows the film to her students. And whenever they get down, she says, hey, never give up. Look at this Plano East team. So this game lives on.
Yeah, it's one of those high school games in a state that loves high school football. Everyone always brings it up. And Tom, a game like this, as you well know, has a million layers of storylines. What are some of your favorite that actually weren't in this story?
Well, here's one. Plano East, they get down 41-17. Their coaches came down from the press box, too, thinking it was over. They're all on the field, too. So everybody thought the game was over. And here's the other thing. The quarterback had a broken hand. Jeff Whitley, he engineered that comeback with a broken hand. It's not his throwing hand, but his other hand. And then the kid that returned the kickoff all the way back, Roderick Dunn, he also gave up the go-ahead touchdown. You see that touchdown that puts them ahead, 44-41? That's his responsibility. He went to the sideline, hung his head, thinking, what did I just do? And then he returns the kickoff all the way. So the layers are big.
Tom Friend, I'll tell you, fitting you're in Hollywood. You couldn't write a script like this. Tom Friend with one of the greatest comebacks we've seen in football history, be it high school, any level. Tom Friend, great story. Thanks for joining us here on SportsCenter.